Welcome back to Robinhood Stock Market Watchlist group on Facebook. My name's Carlos, and today is Monday morning, January 29th, and we are going to take a closer look at the scheduled financial earnings for this week. I post a lot of great information in our featured and announcements area of our group page. You can find that kind of on the top if you're on the website or on the app. You just got to look for featured area, and then I'll be posting a lot of stuff on here. And so one of the important things is the schedule. That way we can kind of know what's going to happen before it happens, and it's right here that we get from Earnings Whispers. And so we can see that this is a busy week. This is a Super Bowl, you guys. This is huge. And so every day has huge companies. I cannot stress that enough. Every day before open, after close, it is going to be, there's just so much, but we're only going to be able to take a look at the top 10. And so the top 10 is going to be like the SoFi on Monday before the stock market opens, and after close we have the Super Merck, and then we have the before the stock market opens on Tuesday we have Pfizer. Then after close we have AMD and Microsoft, Alphabet, which is Google. Then on Wednesday, before the stock market opens, we have Boeing, and then let's see some other big ones. Thursday, after close, we have Amazon, Apple, and Meta, formerly known as Facebook. And then we got a lot of these energy companies on Friday. Now, if you don't have this, definitely you can grab that in our featured announcements area on the top of our group. But let's take a closer look at some of these. Now, AMD, which is going to be one of the top runners of the top 10. AMD, which sometimes I always put little clues in the images and as well as within the descriptions. This one's got a little AI in it because last year they've really been trying to use that one to really entice investors to see value in these stocks. And so AMD, which is scheduled to be releasing their earnings on Tuesday after the stock market opens, and is expected to beat their estimates. Investors are bullish going into the company's earnings with a 73.2, expecting an earnings beat. However, option traders are pricing in right around a 9.5% price movement in either direction, where normally it's moved right around 6.9%. And so we do anticipate more volatility with this one than previous earnings. So be ready, because now that we're at the end of the year, these are fourth quarter. Sometimes they talk about yearly information as well as quarterly information. So we have those two things, as well as maybe talking about what they feel like the near future might be like. And so that could be a third thing kind of bringing it in the mix. However, 73.2%, that I would say is more and better than average. Average is, when you're normally looking at this stuff, average is like right around 65% expecting an earnings beat. So this is better than average. Just know that and be ready for volatility, not just for AMD, but other semiconductor stocks like NVIDIA or and there's just, many others that we're all going to want to really take a close watch for. And so then we have Amazon. Amazon is confirmed to release their earnings on Thursday after the stock market opens or closes. After the stock market closes on Thursday, February 1st, and is expected to beat their estimates. Investors are bearish, however, going into the company's earnings release with a 77.4% expecting an earnings beat. You may wonder why some may expect them to beat their estimates, but investors are bearish going into the company's earnings release with a 77.4%. And that could be a scenario where maybe, yeah, they had a great, holiday, Christmas. A lot of people did shopping online than they did going into the store. You saw pictures of, the Black Fridays and stuff. It was a ghost town. Nobody was going in stores, especially early in the morning, doing shopping. They're all going to do it on Amazon and other places and stuff. However, they could say, yeah, we had a great fourth quarter, but we anticipate it's going to be slow the next quarter, the next several quarters or whatever. And so that could, scare investors a little bit. So it just depends, that's why we just like looking at this information just to kind of see what are people thinking, what's the analysis of all this stuff. And so that's why it's important that we always know what's going to happen before it happens, at least, what are the odds. And so that way we can always plan our trades so we can trade our plans, because if we fail to plan, we're planning to fail. And that's not us. And so with Amazon, option traders are pricing in right around a 6.8% price movement in either direction, when the stock has moved right around 7.5% in recent quarters. So this is going to be a volatile one just as well. And so we'll go up to the next one, Apple. There's another big one. And so Apple's confirmed to also release their earnings Thursday, February 1st, after the stock market closes, and is also expected to beat their estimates. Investors are bearish going into the company's earnings release with a 0.1% expecting an earnings beat, nearly a 50-50 percent. And so, but again, investors are also bearish. And so that's not good. So option traders, and when you look at their price is really high, like it's priced in to come down. And so just be ready, because there's a lot of clues here letting us know as the stars are aligning. It gives us an idea of, again, what's going to happen before it happens. Option traders are pricing in right around a 3.8% price movement on earnings. The stock has also moved right around that 3.9% in recent quarters. Going up to Microsoft. Microsoft has confirmed to release their earnings on Tuesday, January 30th, after the stock market closes, and is expected to beat their estimates. However, investors are bullish going into the company's earnings release with a 77.4% expecting an earnings beat. That is great. I mean, that's what we want to see, is just some solidness, like that's pretty close to certainty that is going to do very, very well. And Microsoft has also gotten into AI too. That has really helped out their company. Option traders are pricing in right around a 4.8% price movement, where it's moved right around that in recent quarters. So expect a lot of volatility with these guys. Going up to the SoFi is confirmed to release their earnings on Monday before the stock market opens, and is investors are bearish going into the company's earnings release with a 72.2% expecting an earnings beat. Again, maybe the whole shopping thing really did well during the fourth quarter, but maybe they just see it slowing down. Maybe that's why investors are bearish. Who knows? But it definitely can provide some mixed signals there, where we got bearish mentality there, even though they're expected to beat their earnings. Option traders are pricing in right around an 18.8% price movement in either direction, where it's normally average right around 13.2. This may be a good one to straddle, even though straddling earnings may not always be a wise idea because of what's called an IV crush, which means implied volatility crush. If it doesn't move, it can crush both sides, both calls and puts. However, this would be something I consider as a lottery play. We just throw a little bit of money at it, and if it works out, you'll win big. If you don't, it's money lost that you're not going to worry about. But with this kind of volatility, if it does move around that, whether it be up or down. Straddling this would be a very good lottery play. But like I said, that's high risk, high reward. But it's definitely something that we can plan with part of our trades. And so going up, we have Meta, formerly known as Facebook, is confirmed to release their earnings on Thursday, February 1st, after the stock market closes. And investors are bullish going into the company's earnings release with a 73% expecting an earnings beat. So investors are bullish, and we have a high percentage expecting an earnings beat. Stars look very nice with this one. Option traders are pricing in right around a 7.2% expecting an earnings beat, and the stock has averaged right on 12.5% in recent quarters. So, and I put this here so that it kind of gives us an idea of what's going on. Now, even though with what we're seeing here between Facebook's revenue and their net income, we can see the years and stuff. Now, sometime after COVID, Facebook fired what was it, like 5,000, 7,000 people. Each company, the staff is their biggest expense, and so when you let go a lot of people like that, your net income comes up even though your revenue has gone down. And so this, and you see here where it shows a star in the 2023, this means that it's basically, this information is just based on the first quarter, second quarter, and the third quarter of last year, not including the fourth quarter. So we'll get that information here, later on this week that we can add to it. But just know that this is basically, it's going to continue letting that investors and us know that the Facebook is net income. They're making profit. They're making good money there, but their revenue is still down compared to what it was in 2022, 2021. But it's still higher than 2020. People after COVID, people were still, stuck in, at home and whatnot, and, just on social media and stuff. And so, it takes a little while for, things to change, but also there could be some other things, in that as well, that made these accounts so high, especially, fake accounts. They're usually based off of, accounts as active and whatnot. But, but this is great information to know why, investors are bullish, because, as part of an owner of a company, you want to make sure that company is profitable. And they're going to say, yeah, we're profitable. We're making more money with less revenue. And so be ready on that. So Google coming up here also Tuesday on January 30th, after the stock market opens. Google is expected to release their earnings and is expected to beat them. Investors are bearish, however, going into the company's earnings release with a 64.9 expecting an earnings beat. So Google's kind of started to release last year more about this. They're dabbling more into the AI thing. Well, we'll see if it paid off for them. Option traders are pricing in right around a 5.7% price movement in either direction. Normally it's moved right around that, about 5.8 average in recent quarters. And so then there's this other one here, the super micros, which is the SMCI, is also confirmed to release their earnings on Monday after the stock market opens. This could be a big one, but they are expected to beat their estimates. Investors are bearish, however, going to the company's earnings release with a 74% expecting an earnings beat. Option traders are pricing in right around a 12.5% price movement in either direction, and so that's some pretty good volatility there. And so then we have Boeing. Boeing's had just a rough ride, in the last quarter, and in lots of ways, with their stock as well as their planes, with other airlines. And so It's going to be a very interesting one. It's going to be in a lot of people's watch lists. So Boeing, which is confirmed to release their earnings this Wednesday, January 31st, or before the stock market opens. However, they are expected to beat their estimates. Investors are bearish, however, going into the company's earnings release with a 55.7% expecting an earnings beat. So again, they're bearish, as you know, I think most would. Option traders are pricing in right around a 4.9% price movement in either direction, where normally they've moved right around 3.5. So this is letting us know, be ready for extra volatility with Boeing that it doesn't normally do. And so we'll move up to Pfizer. Pfizer is also confirmed to release their earnings on Tuesday, on January 30th, before the stock market opens, and they are expected to beat their estimates. However, investors are bearish going to the company's earnings release with a 40.2% expecting an earnings beat. Option traders are pricing in a 4.8% price movement in either direction, where normally it's moved right around 4 or 1.4%. So we are expecting a lot more volatility with this one, as more and more people are not using any of the Pfizer products. So if more and more people don't trust the brand, then they're not going to use the brand, and then their revenue is going to go down, income and everything. And so we're going to see that in their stock. And so I would anticipate it would be bearish. So we'll see. And so one of the important things that it's also important to look at before diving into the market is always looking at this top 5 things to watch in the market ahead from investing.com. And so you can look at it on their website, you can download their app. And so in our previous video, we looked ahead with what was to be expected with our economic reports. So that would be one to look at into our other video. And so we did talk a lot about the job reports and unemployment reports, as well as the big earnings that's coming up here. Now, number 4, looks like there is a Bank of England is expected to keep interest rates on hold on Thursday, while it may drop its long-held warning that it will hike rates again if inflation rebounds. It is expected to indicate that rates need to remain restrictive for an extended period. So the latest UK jobs reports, yada yada. Okay, so there it looks like they're going to be kind of on a pause type of thing as well. But Thursday again, we could see just a little extra more volatility. Usually that stuff happens during with the U.S. futures. And so we don't have to worry about while our market is open. That's going to happen when everyone's probably asleep. And so don't worry about that one. And then we have some more economic reports coming in from China. Looks like on Wednesday. So those are just some good things to know. But like I said, there's lots of great information under our featured and announcements area. If you guys ever have any questions or comments, please do not hesitate to let me know. Or you can also chat with us live in our live chat rooms within our group.